Imagine for a second the front door to the entire internet. For over 2 decades, one company has basically owned that door: Google. I mean, it's a $260 billion a year absolute monopoly that practically every American relies on every single day. We don't even say search for it, we say Google it. But what if I told you the foundation of that massive empire is actively crumbling right under our feet? Welcome to This Explainer. Today we're diving deep into the disruptor's dilemma, and we're looking at a very real, very wild possibility. The idea that Google search, at least the way we've always known it, is dying. Get this: 37%. According to a shocking new study, that is the exact portion of consumers who are now starting their online searches with artificial intelligence tools instead of Google. Stop and think about that for a second. More than 1 in 3 people are completely bypassing that iconic search bar. They aren't looking to scroll through 10 blue links anymore. They just want a fast, clear, totally uncluttered answer. And look, this shift is having a genuinely catastrophic impact on website owners and creators. We are seeing a devastating 58% drop in click-through rates for top-ranking organic pages. Why is this happening? Ironically, it's because of Google's own AI overviews. Basically, for every 100 clicks a top-ranking page used to get, Google is now keeping 58 of them for itself by sticking an AI summary right at the very top of the page. The traffic that built the web is simply evaporating. So why are we all so eager to jump ship to AI in the first place? Well, it really comes down to this universal frustration we have all been feeling lately. Think about the last time you tried to search for, say, a simple recipe or just an honest product review. You probably felt like you were drowning in a sea of pop-up ads, sponsored results, and a mandatory 10-page life story about the author's childhood before you even got to the ingredient list. This frustrating phenomenon actually has a very specific and honestly highly descriptive name. It's called enshittification. The term was coined by digital rights activist Cory Doctorow, and it defines the predictable death pattern of these dominant digital platforms. Here's exactly how the cycle works. First, a platform makes things incredibly great for users to lock them in. Then, they make it great for business customers and advertisers to lock them in. Finally, they degrade the experience for everyone just to maximize their own profits. Google built its monopoly with clean, super relevant results. Now, it's basically a flooded billboard. Which brings us right into the SEO wars. The original promise of search engine optimization was supposed to be about rewarding high-quality content and a great user experience. But man, our current reality is much darker than that. Industry estimates are showing that by 2026, over 60% of new internet content will be just cheap, AI-generated spam designed purely to game the search algorithm. It is a total race to the bottom, and ultimately you and I, the users, are the ones who suffer. Because of this constantly degraded experience, the younger generations are just walking away. Gen Z and Gen Alpha grew up in an entirely ad-saturated web. They never even got to experience Google's early magic era. Today, over 50% of users under 25 don't even use Google for local discovery anymore. They're jumping on TikTok or Instagram for a visual search. And when they do actually use Google, they instinctively tack the word Reddit onto the end of their search just to bypass all the AI garbage and find a real, authentic human answer. Now, the absolute most alarming part of this whole shift is the timeline. Current projections from SEMrush show generative AI traffic actively overtaking traditional organic search by the year 2027. Guys, 2027 is right around the corner. This isn't some distant sci-fi theoretical future. This transition is happening right now. Over the next few months, we are watching a total, real-time transformation of how human beings seek and find information online. Essentially, we're witnessing a fundamental rewrite of internet architecture. We're moving away from traditional search and stepping into the era of answer engines. Traditional search gives you 10 blue links and makes you do the work. Answer engines just hand you a direct, synthesized answer. The old business model totally relies on you clicking ads to make them money. The new one relies on subscriptions and APIs. It's a massive shift from clicking and reading multiple pages to just reading the comprehensive answer directly. And the sheer scale of this new model is staggering. By early 2026, Perplexity AI, which is one of the leading answer engines out there right now, surpassed 230 million monthly active users globally. 230 million. That means this isn't just some niche tool for tech insiders in Silicon Valley anymore. It is rapidly becoming the default interface for millions of professionals and everyday Americans. So why is a platform like Perplexity winning this war for our trust? Well, it's because it actually shows its homework. It averages 8.2 cited sources per answer, giving you direct clickable links for independent verification. People trust it because they can verify it. In fact, 64% of its users are relying on it primarily for high-stakes work research. And the craziest part for businesses? Traffic referred by Perplexity is converting at 3.1 times the rate of standard Google organic traffic. It is highly targeted, highly motivated traffic. Which brings us to the massive existential corporate crisis happening right now over at Google headquarters. Tech analyst Shelley Palmer sums it up perfectly. He said Google is in the middle of its own innovator's dilemma, disrupting its $260 billion a year search business before someone else does. See, Google has the technology to build mind-blowing AI, but utilizing that technology actually means destroying their own golden goose. The irreconcilable conflict for Google is literally this. Their entire legacy business model requires you to click links, and specifically to click advertisements to generate their revenue. But their defensive move against these new startups is to roll out AI overviews, and AI overviews give you direct answers, which completely stops you from clicking on anything. Every single time an AI overview successfully answers your question, Google leaves money on the table. They are literally cannibalizing their own business. Add to that, their panicked, rushed deployment of this AI tech has severely damaged their brand. You have probably heard about the hallucination problem. Large language models aren't actual databases of verified facts. They're just predicting the next word based on probability, which is exactly what led to Google's AI confidently telling users to mix non-toxic glue into their pizza sauce to keep the cheese from sliding off. Look, when your entire 25-year-old brand is built on being the ultimate source of truth, you absolutely cannot be caught making things up. So what does all of this mean for American businesses, marketers, and content creators today? It means we have to adapt, and we have to do it fast. The old era of SEO is making way for GEO, Generative Engine Optimization. This is the new practice of completely structuring your online presence to make sure you are the one being cited, visible, and recommended directly inside those answers generated by AI platforms like Perplexity and ChatGPT. And hey, if you think geo is just some passing industry fad, check out this data. 68% of consumers have already purchased products based specifically on generative AI recommendations. AI is no longer just a fun parlor trick answering trivia questions. It's actively acting as a personalized shopping assistant. It's curating lists, and it's heavily influencing buying decisions. Honestly, if an AI doesn't know your brand exists, you effectively don't exist in this new digital ecosystem. To survive this shift, you've really got to adopt the geo playbook. First, you have to double down on genuine EEAT. That's experience, expertise, authority, and trust. AI engines are actively looking for real human credentials. Second, you have to optimize for a search everywhere, not just Google. Third, structure your content with crystal clear facts, stats, and entities so the AI can confidently extract your info. And finally, you have to focus on getting cited as an authoritative source rather than just buying up cheap SEO backlinks. We are rapidly moving into a deeply, deeply fragmented future. Going forward, AI assistants are going to handle our factual and complex queries. Highly visual social platforms like TikTok and Instagram are going to completely dominate brand discovery and shopping. And niche communities like Reddit will be exactly where we go for deep, authentic human expertise and opinions. The long era of typing every single thought into a single, universal search box, it is officially coming to an end. We're standing at the threshold of a permanent paradigm shift. For the last 25 years, the internet was all about finding information. You searched, you sifted through pages, you clicked around. Tomorrow's internet is entirely about generating answers. It's faster, it's highly conversational, and it completely alters the multi-billion-dollar economy of clicks that quite literally built the modern web. Which leaves us with a massive, incredibly provocative question to end on today. Can the open web actually survive without clicks? Think about it. If creators, journalists, and publishers aren't getting any traffic because AI is just instantly summarizing their work, what is the financial incentive to keep creating in the first place? I would absolutely love to hear your thoughts on this one. Drop a comment below. Let's start a real discussion. And hey, if you found this explainer valuable and it gave you something to think about, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you never miss out on our deep dives. Thanks so much for learning with me today.